This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. This is a box. This is a box cutter. Let's roll the music, shall we?
Go on, lad. Way on.
Okay, so here it is, the Harley Benton Fusion T with the hardtail. I'll put a link to the full spec in the description, but you know, it's got all of the usual recipe for these Harley Benton Fusion guitars. Roasted maple neck, roasted maple fretboard, a little bit of figuring going on in there, stainless steel frets, 2 Roswell humbuckers, 3-way selector, master volume, master tone with a push-pull single coil switching, and the body, I believe, is it? I'm never sure how it's pronounced. Is it Niato or NATO or that stuff? Anyway, with a flamed maple veneer on top. It's not that kind of deep a flame. I'll try and take some B-roll footage and edit into what I'm talking now, so that with a slightly better camera, so hopefully you can get a better impression of what the guitar looks like. But in terms of how it arrived, there's a story to that. Yes, it took rather a while to turn up, shall we say. But I'll probably go into that a bit more in the full review. This is just literally the first impressions kind of run through. I took it out of the box a couple of hours ago, and I've done a couple of lessons, and had to do a little bit of setup work on it. We'll come to that in a moment, but let's hear some tones. That's what we're here for. So I am, as usual, plugged into the Blue Guitar Amp 1 Mercury Edition on the vintage channel, which gives an old school Marshall plexi kind of tone, and the bridge pickup in humbucker mode, full volume, sounds like this. And as you can probably tell, I've got a little bit of delay and reverb going on in Reaper that I'm recording into at the moment, but you're getting a pretty good representation of the core sound of the guitar. Backing the guitar's volume control off to clean the sound up gives us this kind of result. And then if we go into single coil mode, this is what we sound like. You're never going to fool anybody that you're playing an actual proper Telecaster with the usual Telecaster bridge and pickup kind of configuration, but it'd fit in the same kind of place in a mix, wouldn't it? Let's try that sort of cleaned up coil split sound on the middle position with both pickups on. So it's effectively both single coils with the guitar's volume backed off to clean the sound up. Sounds like this. That's the kind of clean sound I like. I always think that a little bit of fur around the edges on a clean sound, where it's still, kind of clean enough that you can play a sophisticated chord like a minor ninth that I finished on there, that without sounding all kind of calamitous and congested. But, it's still just got that little bit of heat around the edges. That's what I tend to prefer when I'm going for a clean tone. Some people like it kind of all nice and kind of spangly and 80s kind of sparkly clean, but I do like something a little bit more gritty sounding, I think. So anyway, let's roll the volume controls all the way back up and let's see the neck humbucker. Really smooth sound. I've had these Roswell pickups in other guitars, other Harley Benton guitars in the past, and been a little bit, okay, probably going to need to change those. I do prefer an Alnico 2 humbucker most of the time, and I think these are Alnico 5, but I'm just not in any rush to change these. I think they are, they're not overly hot, or they don't give that impression. We'll find out, as I say, when I do the full sort of weights and measures review on Sunday. Probably I'll be doing that, measuring the output and everything. But they don't have that kind of modern, overly brash kind of never going to go anywhere near a clean channel kind of sound that you get with a lot of sort of more hot humbuckers. These, I think, kind of, they clean up nicely. Let's have a listen to the neck humbucker clean. Just backing the guitar's volume control off through that those same settings on the amp. Let's hear that. So to go from that sort of sound to this kind of sound, by doing nothing more than adjusting the controls on the guitar, that ticks massive amounts of boxes for me. That is what I like in a guitar. I always feel a bit disappointed when everything sounds fantastic full on, but then, you think, well, why are these two controls here then if they don't work? Are they just there for decoration? I like to control the sound from the guitar rather than, having to remember to kind of hit a pedal or something. It's more intuitive for me. I can do it while I'm playing, and it's not something that I'm necessarily having to think about in the way that I would have to think about hitting a pedal. So initial impressions of this guitar are really good. It did need a little bit of setup work straight out of the box. The action was not only quite high, but it bore, like the position of the bridge saddles bore no resemblance or no relation to the actual profile, the sort of what we call it, the radius of the neck. But just a few minutes with a radius gauge and an Allen key soon corrected that. The truss rod is, set pretty much perfectly, certainly to my liking, just as Mr. Creosote would have said, a wafer thin gap there at the 12th fret when you do that old kind of first and last fret truss rod check, just the quick and dirty way of doing it without using feeler gauges or anything as professional and accomplished as that. So doing it that way, yeah, not a hint of fret buzz or choking out anywhere on the neck. And because these are stainless steel frets, essentially what the fretwork is like on day one is going to be what the fretwork is going to be like in 10 years' time. You know, they don't move, they don't wear down. How the guitar plays now is how it's always going to, essentially. And, you know, nice, no sharp fret ends. This is the third Harley Benton Fusion I've had. That said, the first two, one I didn't actually own. It was when they first brought them out. I remember a few years ago, because probably about 5 years ago now, they brought out the Fusion range of guitars, and I had one of the Strat style ones. I think it was a HSH configuration, and yeah, the first one I had didn't belong to me. I bought it as part of a charity fundraising thing, and then sold it on and raised money for charity and so on. That was a beautiful guitar. I was so impressed that I bought one for myself, and that one had really, really bad cheese grater fret ends that needed quite a bit of work sorting out. Stainless steel frets, you got to do any work on them at all, then, you know, it's a lot more, takes a bit more elbow grease, shall we say, and, you know, punishes your files as well. But I got it sorted out and ended up selling it on to a student. But it's been, as I say, a good at least 4 years since I've had a Harley Benton Fusion guitar. And this one is, well, it's very much impressed me straight out of the box. As I say, coming up on Sunday, we'll do the usual full weights and measures kind of thing. Neck profile and, you know, kind of pickup readings and, you know, how much it weighs and all of that sort of stuff. Not with all the usual kind of weights and measures that you do on these guitar reviews these days, and we'll see kind of how it measures up there and what it sounds like in a fully finished and mixed track. But for now, I'm going to tell you, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, nice touch here on a sub £200 guitar, as well as everything else that I've just mentioned, because I got this in the Toeman sale. I paid £195 for this guitar. A Graphtec Tusk nut, you know, so again, it's just add up those features: roasted maple, locking tuners, stainless steel, you know, Tusk nut. It's a lot of guitar for, as I say, £195. It's a lot of guitar for, I think these go for somewhere around 300. Full price if you didn't get one in the sale, but even then it's still a lot of guitar for the money, and I'm going to have some fun with this one. One or two mods that I'm thinking of as I'm kind of sat here kind of playing it and looking at it and stuff, so I'll keep you posted on what those ideas are and whether or not I can be bothered to do them, because I'm not sure I can. Straight out the box, it's a guitar I'm going to enjoy playing. But there you go, that is my first impressions and unboxing of the Harley Benton Fusion T hardtail. Very, very favourable first impressions. And I'll let you know what it sounds like in a mix and everything on Sunday, as I said. But that's the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it informative and useful in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday at 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and a whole range of other things. Great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.